Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Y'all, I can't tell if there's like stuff on my face or if that's from my cracked phone screen. Seriously, I'm wiggling around. Hello. How are y'all doing? I hope that you're doing really good. Let me double check I'm in the right spot. That's always my moment of panic. I'm like, oh no, what if I am not in the right spot? So how are y'all doing? I am excited about this class. And I know all of you are too, because you're all like freaking out. It's been hilarious and awesome and awesomeness. Hey, Suzanne. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Let's see. Y'all, did you know you could schedule posts? Like, okay, so I've used Tiny Torch for a little, we'll just do small chalk for a second. I've used Tiny Torch for a long time, and it's okay, but you guys, did you know that you can schedule posts on Facebook? Allegedly it went through. Y'all are commenting on it, so it must have gone through. So, yes, I'm in the right spot. Yay. Let's get started. I'm going to wait just like another hot second before I dive in, because I want to keep this short and rewatchable. And yeah, I want everybody to get the awesomeness of this information. Not that I am awesome, but that this information is really awesome. So come on in and let's chat. All right, so you guys, I can tell you really want to know more about this topic, and that makes me really happy. I've been so blessed to see your enthusiasm and your interest, and I really pray that you find this information valuable. I want it to help you personally, and I want it to help your family as well as you enter this holiday season. So if you are wondering who I am, hi, I am Tracy Moore, and I'm a wife, a mom, and a licensed mental health counselor. I'm also just this total essential oil nerd, and I'm a young living lifer, okay. You may have heard that there are other brands of essential oils, but I got nothing to tell you about those. So the only thing that I know is that Young Living is far and away the only choice for me and my family, okay? So I mentioned that I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and this is true. I have worked for a number of years in a private practice in Florida, and within the last 3 years, I took some time off from private practice to stay home with our son. And though I am qualified to diagnose you with depression or general anxiety or anything like that, that is not what this event is for. Okay, so if you want to book a session with me privately to discuss counseling services, you can feel free to reach out to me via private message, and we can connect over the phone, okay? But I digress. This event, this one right here, this video that you're watching, is for educational purposes only, about emotional issues and practical steps that you can take to really feel healthier and happier and more in control of your day, all right? So again, I am not talking about diseases. I'm talking about oils, and never the twain shall meet. Okay, great. So where are we going to begin? Now that several of you are here, we are going to dive right in. We'll do a quick review of what we're going to be covering and exactly what to expect, similar to the video I did earlier. So family dynamics, we're going to talk about it because we're going to talk about different oils that are good for family dynamics and just some varied family dynamics and kind of what to do in different situations. We're going to talk about presents. I don't know which way you're, yeah. Over presents, like, oh, look, I got a present of tissues. Not that kind. We're going to talk about focusing on what really matters and achieving balance. Hey, Ashley. We're going to talk about avoiding overeating and practical tips and good reminders for anybody going into the holiday season. And we're going to talk about some specific oils to use for your digestive system. Talk about stress reduction, which is the holy grail of all things. You're like, yes, I would love to have stress reduction. That would be great. Thanks. So we're going to talk about practical concerns as well as the best essential oils that can really give you a zen feeling any time of day. Namaste, y'all. Namaste. We're going to talk about mood management. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, I need to forget to put my oils on. We're going to talk about mood management. It starts with you, okay? And so many of you want to know how to keep your mood steady, and we're going to talk about just that. It's Harmony, in case you're wondering what it is. And we're going to talk about some stellar oils like Harmony that will help you tremendously along the way. Okay? Sound good? Awesome. Awesome. Bunch of you on now, so let's do this thing. Navigating family dynamics. Okay. Whether your family is big, enormous, huge, 20,000 children, okay, in your family, or whether it's relatively small, there's a dynamic way that all of the members work together and in how life works together, okay? Sometimes this is healthy and sometimes this is unhealthy. I'm not going to focus on as much on the unhealthy as I am identifying the healthy, and here's why. Again, this is not about diagnosing. It's about showing you the real so that you can easily identify the counterfeit. You guys know that about banks, right? They don't play with the counterfeit money and study it and like, oh yeah, this is really counterfeit. No, they study the real stuff so that they can quickly pick out the fakes. And it's the same concept here. So we're going to talk about the relatively normal family dynamic, which still has its share of issues, right? And we're going to identify where things are maybe getting off track, even in this relatively normal family dynamic. Because my main focus is supporting healthy families through the day in and day out normal junk that happens when we live in community with one another, when we live in a family, when we work with people, when we breathe in and out and like do things like go to the grocery store or drive a car, like there's some normal day in, day out just junk that happens when we're a human being, which you are. Congratulations. So let's talk about some keys to navigating a family dynamic, a healthy-ish family dynamic. So it starts with assessing and caring about the needs of other people, about the needs of each member of the family. So at first I'm talking basic needs like food, water, shelter, sleep. You got to start there, okay? Because hangry is a real thing. Who can testify? Hangry is a real thing, okay? Imbalance here really gets everything else off course. Speaking of hangry, I need some water. So if I'm thirsty, I'm going to be like, man, there's some water right there and I really want that water. If I'm telling you, I'm expressing my need. I needed a drink of water, talking a lot. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you for asking. So if I get imbalanced at this stage that is really relatively easy to not get imbalanced at, okay? You can't expect me to be nice to you if I'm hangry, all right? So what's my job here? My job is communicating my own needs. Okay, with children, it is not that simple. They don't always know what they need. They very rarely know what they need. They think they need popsicles at 7 a.m. But I am trusting that if you are here watching this video, that you are a grown-up and you are able to communicate your own needs in some form or fashion, okay? So that starts there. And if that's where your issue is, you're like, yeah, I just can't tell people that I'm hungry and that's why I'm mean, or I didn't get enough sleep and that's why I'm mean, or I can't balance my emotions. You just speak it, please speak it. We're going to talk a lot about honesty. That is the core of all of this. And some of that comes down to personality, but not all of it. You can be honest at any personality, okay? You don't have to be like, yeah. It's not that kind of thing. It's not just because I'm an extrovert, which I'm really not. I'm a pretend extrovert. Even when you are in a situation that seems like you can't communicate your needs, like it's just not a good idea, or you're like, I don't really know that. It's important, like you are a grown-up, okay? I don't know who needed to hear that, but you're a grown-up. So if you put 10 people in a room, so say we put 10 of my family members in a room, we all have different needs that we bring, different preferences, different perspectives. And I cannot expect people to anticipate my needs or read my mind. I've got to communicate. I have to say something about it. And for some people, that's really hard, okay? So If you have a need, though, to simplify your commitments, or, you know what, I really need to feel appreciated, or I need you to, it's an analogy I use in another class. I'm like, if you're stepping on my toe, get off of my toe. Like, you have to communicate your needs and speak up for yourself. Don't pretend that you can't do anything about it, okay? Because really, we're going to talk about this with mood management. It really is up to you. So you and I have different needs, and it's up to each of us to communicate that in a way that we can be understood. And if you're like, you know what, my great aunt, whoever, is not really that great at communicating your needs, or maybe my husband or my wife or my sister or whatever is not great at communicating their needs, and you want to be proactive, here's what you do. You ready? You say, you know, I love you. What do you need in order to feel happy and comfortable here in this moment? And they're going to look at you like you have 18 heads. But, you know, you could ask. You can't read their mind, because sometimes when you read their mind, that is not what they wanted, you know, and you're providing something they didn't need or want, wasting your time in there. So just ask, okay? So provide that. Ask what they need that would make them feel happy and comfortable in that moment, and then provide it, okay? So with an understanding of each person's needs, you can learn to compromise and really harmonize the needs of the family as a whole, okay? Second thing about family dynamics is perspective. So there's needs, and then there are opinions. Needs are very different than opinions. It doesn't always feel that way. Sometimes my opinion feels like something that I need, but you know, it's not. So those 10 people that were in the room, that all had different needs, if you say to those 10 people, you ask them all to describe the exact same event, like you're at dinner and you're like, describe your dinner, describe that dinner for me, you know, just describe it. Don't even give them any leading. You are going to get 10 different answers from 10 different perspectives in no time flat. No story will be the same. Okay, eyewitness testimony really banks on that. And that's how you know that things are true instead of rehearsed, because everybody has a different perspective. And that is the beauty of life. We are all so very different, but we're all so similar in a lot of ways. Okay. So I would hope that you would value other people enough to explore their opinions with wonder and curiosity. Okay. Be okay with other people's perspectives and views, which are probably just as strongly held as your own are, okay? Agree to disagree is a real thing. Like, it's a real thing, okay? Because some things aren't deal breakers. Are there some things that are deal breakers that would totally change your perspective on somebody? Sure. Can you still extend grace? You betcha. You sure can. That is your right and your gift to them, to extend grace. Preaching to myself too, okay? Preaching. Talk about emotions too, because this is another part of the family dynamic. You've got emotional Elaine and like Drury, whoever. I'm making up stuff now. So emotions, all of it gets tied into mindfulness, okay? Pay attention. I thought this was a hippie word, kind of like I thought essential oils were really hippie too. I'm like, mindfulness, namaste. Okay, it's for everybody. Okay, it's for I'm a regular person. All right, mindfulness is important, and when I am not mindful, that's when I am a hot, unholy mess. Okay, ask my husband what occurred before this class, before my child was asleep. Okay. So, mindfulness, pay attention to how you feel, and remember, stuffing is really good for turkeys, but it's not good for emotions, okay? Use your oils, okay? Use them. RC, and you're like, what is she talking about respiratory care for? No, RC, it is going to help you breathe easier, okay? It is helpful for the emotion of grief and for helping with attachment. And we're going to come back to that a couple times tonight, like breathing easier and like how emotions are held in the body. Disappointment, sadness, grief, all change the ease of your breathing. You know this. You've been like just so sad and your breath is like more shallow and it's less full. You're just kind of on autopilot. It's more rapid, maybe. It's just the shallow, rapid breath. So RC, this is the first oil that I used for our family. And I had no clue about the emotional component of this oil. If I had, I probably wouldn't have used it. Because I'd have been like, you keep that voodoo magic away from me, okay? But I did use it because I didn't know. So our son is adopted, and he was just under 6 months old when I began to use oils. And as I learned more, the reaction that he had really started to make sense. So instead of, he needed some help breathing. In the interest of compliance, he needed some help breathing. And so instead of just breathing calmly and peacefully and drifting off to sleep like I had hoped, he was a hot, clingy mess. Okay, he wouldn't let go of me for a second all night long. He wanted me to hold him even more so than he ever had before. His body, and it wasn't just because he needed help breathing, because the breathing was fine. The emotions were not. So his body, his emotions, he was having a grief reaction, really a cleansing of the cellular memory, all from a little RC in his diffuser. I'm telling you what, this stuff is amazing. So, talk about anger. That's another thing that can come up in some family dynamics. Purification, you guys. It really helps with anger. It's a cleansing oil that works in the home, and it can work in the body when it's applied topically or diffused. So negative emotions like anger can really be soothed with purification. Some of my other favorites for navigating family dynamics are Ula Family, which is a spectacular oil. It really helps me have a I am loving, patient, and kind perspective towards my family. When I use it with intention and mindfulness, we're gonna hit those words hard because that's the key. That's the key to any of it. Intention and mindfulness. Okay, it's a game-changing oil. Also, joy used with intention and mindfulness is a really huge help in navigating some tricky family dynamics. The scent of joy used to really gross me out, but I love it now. It's really floral, and I had a pretty negative emotional reaction the first time I had smelled it, but now I love it, and it's great. So that's part of what's so cool about the essential oils and the scent, the memory complex. If you know me, that I work with aroma freedom technique and how memories can be released by using this specific protocol. So the response to the smells is immediate and automatic. It is an instinctual response to these smells. So if people are like, oh, that's so strong, like it's a legit instinctual smell or response to them, to that smell. Last couple things about family dynamics. The other ones go much quicker, I promise. Flexibility. Oh, it's very important in family dynamics. It's so important because these big emotions can be really toned down with a flexible attitude. So flexible families are so much happier, okay? They're a much happier family if you're flexible. And this is especially true of blended families and extended relatives. You know what oil helps me be more flexible? Valor. Valor helps me be more flexible, like literally, because it can help with alignment of things. I'm not good at compliance, you guys. But literally, like when I don't feel like I have the courage to bend or, change or be flexible about something that I didn't really want to do. And when I use a valor with intention and mindfulness, I have much better time being flexible. Sensitivity, so responding instead of reacting is the last part we're going to talk about for family dynamics. Responding and not reacting changes the way that your family works together. When you do that, you have to kind of live outside your bubble and really get to the heart of the sensitivity issue. You have to look at each person with care and compassion and respect within the family dynamic, even when you don't agree with them. It's okay. All right, moving on. Point number 2 of something. Presence versus presence. So what matters, you guys? Like, what matters? Love. That's it. Like, there's 2 primary emotions, love and fear. All right? That's it. That's it. And guess what? They're at two opposite ends of the spectrum. There's love and there's fear. So if I have everything I need and desire, but I don't have love, I have missed the point, right? I have missed the point if I don't have love. If fear comes in instead, I have way missed the boat. I'm going to remind myself to rewatch this portion because that's where I get way off kilter, way off track. When I fear, then I take my presence is my fight or flight is like, peace out, dude. So knowing that having presence, being there, being in the moment, being mindful, is all a part of my love for my family, my love for other people, and kicking out the fear. So think also about love languages. So even with gifts, like if you have like love language of gifts or time or whatever, it's the thought, not the cost, that counts. It's the quality and not the quantity of time that matters, right? So what helps with this? What helps me to maintain presence in the moment? There's present time, which is a good blend. I don't use that as much just because I just haven't used it as much. There's so many oils, you guys. There's so many. I usually go to a tree oil when I need to maintain presence because it's very grounding. Anything that's a tree is going to be grounding. If it has roots, rooted to the earth, grounded, that's what's going to help you remain present. So what comes from a tree? You got frankincense, you got copaiba, you have Northern Lights black spruce, cedar wood, tons of trees, right? All right, we're going to move into avoiding overeating. It is not a popular topic. I know many of you wanted help with this one. I'm going to take a drink of water. So let's talk oils while we're talking about oils right now. Things, you know this too, if you've used oils at all. What can act as an appetite suppression? Hello. Hi. I talk sometimes for a living. What can act as an appetite suppressant? Peppermint, vitality, because you can take it in water, you can take it internally. It can help also with digestion, but it acts as an appetite suppressant. Lemon vitality, same thing. Those are the ones that can be used internally, the vitality oils. Digestive vitality can help reduce cravings. It has tarragon in it, and the peppermint is in there too. So digest is a really good one. And then thieves vitality, the cinnamon that's in there can actually help regulate blood sugar levels, in addition to all of the many other benefits of thieves vitality and helping keep your immune system strong, etc., etc. That can help with maintaining your blood sugar levels. So what do you need to do to avoid overeating other than not eat as much? It all goes back to mindfulness too. I have a few points, few lots. I'm going to try not to go long, you guys. So eat healthy most of the time. Most of the time, not all of the time. Like for instance, last night, I stress ate some Ben & Jerry's, but I don't do that every day. I was not mindful. So remember how we're learning from my mistakes. Don't do that. Point 2, eat what you love. So I really liked that ice cream. It wasn't ice cream, it was a non-dairy scenario. But I liked it. I did not mind my portions. This is point 3. I did all of these bad things. And that's why I think I had posted it in here about, like, we're going to learn from my mistakes, okay? So, because one of the things is you use smaller plates, you eat your vegetables and fruits first, you drink lots of water, lemon vitality, peppermint vitality to curb your hunger. You buy single servings of things, and technically a little pint of Ben & Jerry's is not a single serving, as it turns out. Avoid your trigger foods. It's great. Order a small. Don't snack from the bag. See, I brought the whole container with me to the couch. Not a good idea. Just because it's organic doesn't mean it's healthy. So just because it was non-dairy did not mean that it was a healthy option for me. Skipping buffets. Okay. do not go to buffets if you're trying to avoid overeating, because it's just not going to happen. I don't care how tight of clothes you wear, because that was one of the things that a website I saw had recommended. I'm like, it's like, wear tight-fitting clothes and do a lap before choosing your meal, which can absolutely help, but it's just not a good call. It's like I wouldn't tell somebody that's a recovering alcoholic to go to a bar. Not a good idea, okay? Share portions at dinners out. And I like this last point because this is something that also is attached to mindfulness. So eat like a Parisian and not like a prisoner. All right. A Parisian eats slowly. These European people, they eat slowly and they enjoy their food and they savor it. They enjoy their company. They enjoy being together. And a prisoner does not do any of those things. They do not eat slowly. They do not savor their food, and they probably do not enjoy their company. I'm just guessing. So eat like a Parisian and not like a prisoner, okay? If you remember nothing else from the Avoiding Overeating segment, remember that. Other thing that I thought was super cool, eat on red plates. You guys, this is true. Psychologically, this is true. You eat on a red plate. Red means stop. You're not going to eat as much, okay? The last point here was fascinating to me. And again, back to the mindfulness and what do you really think about the thing that you're doing? Okay, what is your attitude towards it? The last point is about avoiding overeating is drop the guilt. All right. So researchers that I cannot pronounce wanted to test whether guilt from scarfing chocolate cake acted as an incentive to improve weight control or undermine dieters' determination to succeed. They recruited almost 300 volunteers, ranged from 18 to 86, and they quizzed them on their eating habits and whether they were trying to lose weight. They also asked them if eating chocolate cake made them feel happy or guilty. All right. The results showed that 27% associated it with guilt, and 73% of people associated it with celebration. All right. When the researchers looked at weight control 18 months later, they found that those in the 27% group, the ones that were like, I associate chocolate cake with guilt, had gained significantly more weight. So this is what the researchers said. Associating chocolate cake with guilt was related to an increase in weight, but those who saw it as a celebration were on average much more successful in losing weight. The study found that guilt made people feel that they had lost control of their eating because they had indulged in cake. So as a result, they're more inclined to abandon their weight loss plans altogether. And the researchers added that enjoyment of food is essential to people's well-being. Preach. This study shows that those who consume a forbidden food with celebration view it as a treat, and they do better in terms of weight management. I love that study, and I love chocolate cake. You're welcome. All right, stress reduction, and then we're going to move into mood management, and then we're going to close, okay? Stress reduction. The keys to, there's a lot of oils that can help with stress reduction, okay? The keys to stress reduction, the first one is to be realistic. I am not good at that. I don't know if you're good at that, but I am not as good about that. With my own expectations of myself, I expect a lot of myself and of other people. And so being realistic is hard. There are things that I do, again, with the mindfulness, again, with oils and prayer and understanding that everybody's different. That helps tremendously. So being realistic, sticking to a budget, using tree oils like frankincense, copaiba, cedarwood, spruce, any of those trees will ground you back into reality and help you be realistic. You're also going to want to stick to the plan, all right? You're going to have to say no to things, to good things. You're going to have to say no to good things so that you can say yes to the best things, all right? This is true of all of life. You're going to have to say no to things that are good. It's good to do that thing, but is it the best thing? Is it the right thing for you to be doing with your time, talents, etc., etc.? Because that's what causes you stress. There's things that yes, we are all overwhelmed. I say that, but that might not be true. Many of us, many women that I talk to are completely overwhelmed, especially those of us that are doing Young Living as a business, that have young children. It is an overwhelming thing. Do we say no to the right things and yes to the right things? Are we saying no to even to good things that seem like a good idea so that we can say yes to the best things? What are those best things? That is for you to decide. I will venture to say that your family is certainly one of those best things. So knowing that going in and being realistic about what you can do. Again, I'm preaching to myself. Second point, do stuff that brings you joy. Please do stuff that brings you joy. This is hilarious. Stephanie Nichols, you are not watching this because you just texted me a picture of a wedding cake that you made, which is beautiful, by the way. Literally, if you could see my notes, do stuff that brings you joy. Love to bake? Go for it. Do you love that? She loves that. My precious friend Stephanie loves to bake. She's made wedding cakes. She loves it. It brings her joy. Do you love to host parties during the holidays? Rock on, sister. Do it. I love that. Do you love to be alone? Do it. You go, girl. You be alone. You read that book and watch that Netflix show. I still need to catch up on This Is Us, you guys. So even if it's a small respite in the midst of the duties of the season, take moments that you enjoy and take moments and just enjoy life. Just enjoy things. If you think you're busy now, just wait until next month. Just wait until December. It only gets busier from here. It's reality. It's true. Study after study after study show holiday stress is a thing. Okay. Take moments and enjoy them. I really like this next tip, you guys. What do you do for stress reduction? You breathe. It's very easy. It's very easy, and that is what you do. This is very hard, though. Breathing is very easy, but this thing that I'm going to tell you to do is super hard. You're going to set a timer for 10 minutes. It can be on your phone or whatever, okay? Set a timer for 10 minutes. Well, okay, first you're going to fill your diffuser with lavender, frankincense, and stress away, okay? You're going to turn it on, and you're going to sit down. You're going to set your timer for 10 minutes. And you're going to focus on nothing but breathing. And if that sounds instantly boring to you, you need to do it. Okay? It sounded instantly boring to me. It was the hardest thing in the world. Focus on nothing but breathing. And each time your mind just flits away, refocus on breath as an anchor. Nothing will show you about the worries of life and your tendency towards utter distraction better than this exercise. I am not kidding. 10 minutes. We all have 10 minutes. Dude, you will be like mind blown. I can't even count how many times my thought went away from my breath. This isn't a part of what I read, but I'm wondering, like, even if you had a little notepad, I'm going to do this next time. Do it with me and we'll see how many times we get distracted. I'm going to do like a little distracted. And focusing on my breath, and in a second I get distracted. I would be curious how many times I would get distracted in a 10-minute period. I'm willing to bet it's a whole stinking lot. How many seconds are in a 10-minute period? All right. Challenge you to do that, you guys. All right, let's talk about mood management. Mood management. You were like all wanting to know about this. 100% this goes to self-care. So if you are not taking care of yourself and listening to what you need and doing the things that you enjoy, investing in self-care, whatever that looks like for you. And I'm going to post in the event afterwards, I have a graphic of 50 ways to take a break. It's a cute, adorable graphic. I'm going to see if I can find it. Here it is. Take a bath, light a candle, listen to music, rest your legs up on a wall, take a nap, go to a body of water, let out a sigh. It's just a break, okay? Notice your body, write in a journal, walk outside, eat a meal in silence. That sounds like heaven right there. Turn off all electronics. Make some music, climb a tree, color with crayons. Like, there's 50 ways to take a break on this little graphic, and I'm going to post it in the event page. Because That's where it starts. That is how you boost your mood. All of those things. That's how you manage your emotional states. You do things with intention and mindfulness, and you use your oils. That's the secret. Okay. So self-care is acknowledging your own needs and feelings and being preemptive in your approach. You're going to reach out to avoid isolation, and you're going to be okay. This is hard, you guys. You're going to be okay with saying no to people, to food, to desires. You're going to use wisdom and be mindful of what you commit to. Now, I would rather, as a business builder with Young Living, I would rather have 99 no's to something. Like if I invited somebody to a class or, asked them something, I'd rather have 99 no's than 99 maybes or like waffling people. Just practice honesty, okay? That's the biggest part of self-care. You're being honest with yourself and you're being honest with other people about what you actually need. Self-care is also about practicing gratitude. That's going to have tremendous impact on your mood when you practice gratitude. Have fun, okay? I talked in another class that I did about playfulness and the happy family. Happy families have more fun. Happy people have more fun. I have a sweet dear friend who's like, I am not fun. Maybe you're not fun. Could you be fun? Could you be fun? I bet you could. You know what? There's an oolah oil called Oolah Fun. Go get it, okay? If you are not fun, you oolah fun yourself. That did not sound nice. I did not. You guys, I'm going to try not to lose it because that's pretty funny. Okay, so point 4, you're going to refocus and regroup. Like right now, I'm going to refocus and regroup. So different personalities are drained by different stuff. You're drained by something, you're energized by something, okay? I want you to know yourself and be intentional with your words and your time, okay? So harmony, that I used at the beginning of this video, was my huge aha moment for mood management. I use it daily, and it has created a harmony that has been a big shift for me. And I say harmony, not balance. A lot of times people say, you should try to boost balance. Balance is nearly impossible to achieve. That's a constant up and down, like a teeter-totter. That's what a balance is, like a balance beam, a weight that's like, okay, no, move. Okay. Harmony is easier to achieve, but it's where we're all in tune. And it's a beautiful thing because we don't have to be exact. We can be, like, no, we don't want to be off pitch, but there's a lot of different notes we can strike that will still harmonize with one another. It's a beautiful thing, and it's much easier to adjust harmony and just a little bit up, a little, instead of like, oh, nope, I gotta go, nope, too far, Harmony. We're singing a song with one another, okay? So why do I love this oil? Well, let me tell you what's in it. It's Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood. All the heart eyes for that. Lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, orange, geranium, hyssop, Spanish sage, black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose, and a partridge in a pear tree. Seriously, it's the stinking best, you guys. I got it with my points. And I get that. So another huge shift for me was gathering. Okay, really helpful for overcoming the chaotic energy of everyday life. Yes, that sounds great to mood management. Gathering, thank you, yes. So, as I close, in addition to making multiple questionable decisions over my 37 next week years, I have also made a couple really great decisions. Ones that I absolutely, unequivocally do not regret. Okay, here they are. Knowing Jesus, marrying my husband, saying yes to adoption, becoming a therapist, and joining Young Living and partnering with them for wellness and beyond. It was an easier yes than the rest of them, and but it was still totally life-changing, if I'm completely honest with you. And let me tell you why. It might sound crazy to you. You're like, you're putting joining Young Living up with marrying your husband. No, it's not on the same level, people. Come on. But those are the things that I said yes to, that I'm like, yes, that was the best choice for that moment. And it might sound crazy, but here's the common denominator. There is more to each of those decisions than just a single yes, okay? Knowing Jesus takes more than just a single decision. Being a wife, being a mom, those require daily sacrifices, daily yeses and amens, and doing work to keep things moving in the right direction that I want them to in those relationships. And the same is true with Young Living. This is not grabbing vitamins at the local Target. This is why I tell people all the time, I'm not here to sell you more stuff. Nobody is. This is not what we do. This is a community. This right here, this event, is people doing life together. This is care and concern. How can I help you? And we're family kind of stuff. I'm not just talking about customer service. What has been built here when Young Living is family. And we have grown to know, like, and trust each other, and to lean on each other and get help from one another. I get messages all the time from people who know that this is my passion, this is my jam. What should I do about this situation? Not even oil related, just like, I have this situation, will you pray with me? Absolutely, I would love to do that. So it's kind of a MLM cliche, I suppose, but there really is honestly something so much deeper. I'm not throwing shade on any other company or opportunity, but there is something so different about Young Living because this is personal. This is something that you use daily for yourself and your family to stay well. This is not a t-shirt. This is not something that you use every, once in a while or when it suits your fancy. This is something that if you're doing this, you're using it every day to help balance your emotions. Because you want to be well. You want to be whole and well and happy, okay? So this is the kind of information and recommendations that people ask their best friends about, not complete strangers, right? But that's just it. This is the thing. As we grow to know each other, we're no longer strangers. We're a community. We're known. We're journey mates. We're walking through life together. We're doing this all together because we find a fit here, okay? So if you've caught a glimpse here of the special kind of magic that happens inside these events, inside Young Living, then you're like, these are my people. Yeah, like I need to get some of this stuff in these little bottles because she seems pretty cool. I don't know. You do need to get some of this stuff. Here's what you do. Are you ready? Somebody, if you're not already an oil lover like I am, you were invited here by somebody who loves you and wants to see you and your family grow in wellness, purpose, and abundance. Isn't that so nice? You were so loved. And you're going to give them some love back by tagging them in the comments of post 5. Or you could even go all old school and send them a text or a message or a telegram and say, let's do this thing. I need my kit. And for my homies who are already in the know, I want you to comment here, do it. Give a little peer pressure. I'm kidding. It's terrible. But it really is a fabulous investment. And you will see in post 5 a graphic of the premium starter kit. And that is the awesomeness you're going to want to get your hands on tonight. Talked about many of the oils that comes in that kit and what I shared with you tonight. Honestly, there is not an oil in that kit that we don't use nearly every single day for all manner of things. And the precious friend who invited you will absolutely give you all the details on the premium starter kit and hook you up in no time at all. So welcome to the family, y'all. I assure you, I am as weird as I seem and as awesome as I seem. So you're welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Stick around and keep up the crazy commenting. And I'm excited for you to be here and to learn. And I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining me.